Let's start this off with an honorable mention, and that's Trevor Bauer. We all know about the off-the-field issues, but after Major League Baseball reinstated Bauer late last year, along with the lawsuits with him and Lindsey Hill being dropped, as well as Mookie Betts showing his support for his former teammate, I can see Trevor Bauer back in Major League Baseball in 2024. No matter where Bauer goes, it will have a lightning rod effect, but he can still pitch and did pretty well in Japan this past year, posting a 2.59 ERA and 9 strikeouts per 9. I can see him going back to his old team, the Arizona Diamondbacks, who could use another arm in the rotation. Arizona is also where he presides in the offseason, and they're both big in the social media game. Now to the actual list. At number 40, I have Hunter Renfroe signing with the Pittsburgh Pirates. Hunter Renfroe has made a living bouncing around the majors in recent years, playing for 4 different teams in the last 3 seasons. This offseason, though, I see him going to the Pirates as he brings a righty power bat at a low cost, something that could intrigue the Pirates. They could use some more power as well, as they only ranked 28th in home runs last season. At number 39, I have Harrison Bader signing with the Washington Nationals. The Nationals didn't pick up the option on Victor Robles, but he's still on the team because he's arbitration eligible. Even if they keep him on the team, Bader is an intriguing option despite a couple of down years with injuries and the bat. He still showed he's an elite center fielder and runs the bases very well. The Nationals also did wonders with Lane Thomas after trading for him a couple of years ago, and I could see them getting Bader back on track. At number 38, I have Craig Kimbrell signing with the LA Angels. It's frustrating to make this prediction because I think the Angels need to tear things down, but reports suggest they intend on competing and being active this offseason, even if they lose Ohtani. One area they could use an upgrade in is at the back end of the bullpen, as their relief pitching ranked 27th in Fangraph WAR and had the 7th most blown saves. Sure, Kimbrell gives most people heart attacks, but he was solid for the most part in 2023 and has proven to be a very durable reliever in his career. At number 37, I have Kenta Maeda signing with the Cincinnati Reds. It was a fun season for the Reds, who were in contention for a wild card spot. In 2024, they look to take a step forward with this young group, but they're going to need to add some starting pitching, as they only ranked 25th in starting pitching Fangraph WAR and dealt with numerous injuries to Hunter Green and Nick Lodolo. I don't see them going for any of the top tier guys, but I can see them going after some lower tier options like Kenta Maeda, who came back from Tommy John surgery this past season and for the most part was okay, posting a 4.23 ERA and a 4.20 FIP while striking out 10 batters per 9. At number 36, I have Rhys Hoskins signing with the Milwaukee Brewers. The Brewers had their issues offensively last season, only ranking 24th in WRC Plus on the year. They especially struggled at first base, where they only ranked 28th overall in WRC Plus, mainly due to a down season from Rowdy Tellez. While Rhys Hoskins missed all of 2023 due to an ACL tear, he still brings a good power bat to the lineup, as he's hit at least 25 homers in 4 out of his 5 seasons, not counting the 2020 shortened season. I can see the low payroll Brewers jumping all over a short-term deal with Rhys Hoskins. At number 35, I have James Paxton signing with the Chicago White Sox. The White Sox had a brutal season in 2023, but new general manager Chris Getz is looking to turn things around. The first thing they need to address is the starting pitching, as it ranked 24th in Fangraph WAR last season. While I don't think they'll be able to land any of the big names, they should be able to land some middle-tier guys like James Paxton, who looked great in the first half of last season after coming back from injuries, but wore down in the second half. I can see the White Sox taking a chance on him, as they could also use a lefty in the rotation. I also think the White Sox will work out a new deal with Mike Clevinger after he declined his mutual option. He had a solid bounce-back season, posting a 3.77 ERA and a 4.28 FIP, and with the White Sox needing pitching, I can see him sticking around. At number 34, I have Whit Merrifield signing with the Boston Red Sox. After another disappointing season that produced the exit of Chaim Bloom and the introduction of Craig Breslow, the Red Sox have a lot to do this offseason. Where they could start is second base, and a veteran in Whit Merrifield would be a nice solution. While he won't be the most thunderous bat out there, he brings decent defense at second, along with some good speed, which the Red Sox could use, as they only ranked 26 in base running last year. Merrifield can also play the outfield, and Alex Cora loves having versatile players. At number 33, I have Jock Peterson signing with the Toronto Blue Jays. The Blue Jays had yet another underwhelming finish this season and are looking to retool for 2024. With Brandon Belt most likely heading elsewhere, they could use another lefty bat. Peterson brings that, along with being a good clubhouse guy. He did miss some time last year with the Giants, but when healthy, Peterson is a productive bat. At number 32, I have Jack Flaherty signing with the San Francisco Giants. While Jack Flaherty did pitch the most innings he has last season since 2019, he didn't have a great season, posting a 4.99 ERA and a 4.36 FIP. It feels like he could use a home that could get a bit more out of him, and the Giants are a team that comes to mind. While his expected numbers aren't great, he limits exit velocity well, he has good extension, and he gets a lot of ground balls, something the San Francisco Giants love. At number 31, I have Lucas Giolito signing with the New York Yankees. Over the last few years, we've seen players go to the Bronx and turn into absolute shells of themselves like Joey Gallo, Josh Donaldson, and more, but we've also seen them bring in guys and get a lot out of them, like Matt Carpenter and Nestor Cortez. I think they have the chance to do the same with Lucas Giolito, who fell apart after being traded to the Angels and picked up by the Guardians last season, posting a 6.96 FIP in the second half. With Giolito, you know you're getting innings, and he still has a 4-pitch mix. I can see pitching coach Matt Blake working with him and getting more out of Giolito on a 1-year deal. At number 30, I have Aroldis Chapman signing with the Cincinnati Reds. The Reds' bullpen was fantastic last season, ranking 5th overall in Fangraph WAR, but they could still use some upgrades. They only rank 27th in strikeouts per 9 and only have a couple of lefty options at the moment. When I think of a lefty that can strike guys out, one name that comes to mind is an old friend of the Reds, Aroldis Chapman. At number 29, I have Tommy Pham signing with the Cleveland Guardians. Coming off a World Series appearance, Tommy Pham showed good advanced metrics while hitting 16 homers and stealing 22 bases. The Guardians ranked 28th in outside swing percentage last season, while Tommy Pham had one of the lowest chase rates in all of baseball. At number 28, I have Marcus Stroman signing with the Chicago Cubs. Stroman looked great in the first half for the Cubs last season, but his second half was full of injuries and inconsistencies. Stroman loved his time with the Cubs, though, and he was so productive that I expect both sides to work out a new deal since the Cubs plan on competing in 2024. At number 27, I have Justin Turner signing with the Arizona Diamondbacks. Justin Turner had a solid season for the Red Sox, posting an 800 OPS with 23 home runs. He did mostly DH for Boston last season, but he can still play third and even play some first and second as well. Coming off a World Series appearance and with Evan Longoria and Lourdes Gurriel Jr. hitting free agency, the Diamondbacks could use a bat, and I could see them bringing in a veteran guy with postseason experience like Turner, who checks off a lot of boxes for them. At number 26, I have Lourdes Gurriel Jr. signing with the Houston Astros. The Astros were one win away from the World Series this year and still look very good heading into next season with not too much to address. However, I think they could use an addition to the offense as they had their ups and downs in 2023. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. is coming off a World Series appearance, which the Astros would appreciate, and they could also use another outfield bat as Michael Brantley is considering retirement and Jake Myers hasn't been able to get it going in the last 2 seasons. At number 25, I have Seth Lugo signing with the Kansas City Royals. With Seth Lugo declining his player option with the Padres, he becomes a free agent. With Lugo posting a 45% ground ball percentage, it would benefit him to go to a team with good infield defense. A team that has that, and also a glaring need for starting pitching, is the Royals. While the Royals won't be contenders for the top pitchers out there, I can see them making a push for a guy like Lugo, who should come a lot cheaper. At number 24, I have Brandon Belt signing with the Chicago Cubs. First off, I'm making this prediction based off if Brandon Belt doesn't retire, but after a good season with the Blue Jays, I can see him having something left in the tank. With Cody Bellinger departing, the Cubs could use a left-handed bat. Belt had a great season from the left side of the plate for the Blue Jays last year and would bring championship experience to the Cubs looking to take a step forward. At number 23, I have Adam Duvall signing with the New York Mets. After a disastrous season, the Mets will look to retool without breaking the bank, and one player that would fit well is Adam Duvall. The Mets were interested in him last offseason before he signed with the Red Sox, but he is still a good fit for them. His power right-handed bat that had 21 homers and a .531 slugging last season would fit well with the Mets, as he can play all 3 outfield spots, and there's also 5 lefty bats projected as of right now to be in the lineup. At number 22, I have Mitch Garver signing with the Tampa Bay Rays. With the status of Wander Franco unknown at this point, the Rays could look to add a bat, and they could use some offense at the catching position, as their catchers only ranked 19th in WRC Plus last season. Garver DH more in a World Series winning season for the Rangers, but he still can catch here and there. At number 21, I have Kevin Kiermaier signing with the Philadelphia Phillies. Johan Rojas looks to have taken the job in center field after a strong showing down the stretch last season, but I do see the Phillies bringing in a veteran for depth, and Kiermaier would be a nice piece. He brings a lefty bat to the table, but most importantly, great defense and a veteran presence that will fit with this team very nicely. At number 20, I have Jason Hayward signing with the Atlanta Braves. The Braves had a shocking exit from the postseason, but they should still be a top team in 2024. When it comes to the offense, the Braves don't really have to do much, but one upgrade they could make is with their outfield depth. Eddie Rosario has a club option, but I expect the Braves to make an upgrade here with someone who can play more of the outfield while bringing some better defense, and that man is an old friend, Jason Hayward. At number 19, I have Teoscar Hernandez signing with the Seattle Mariners. Teoscar Hernandez had an interesting season in 2023. While he did hit 26 homers with 93 RBIs, he only had an on-base percentage of .305 and a slugging of .435, and he was very inconsistent at the plate while having a terrible chase rate. Because of this, I can see him accepting a qualifying offer from the Mariners to try and have a more consistent season in 2024 and go back out onto the market next year. At number 18, I have Kyle Gibson signing with the San Diego Padres. The Padres had a disaster of a season in 2023, and they're looking to bounce back next season. One thing Kyle Gibson brings you is a lot of innings and ground balls, making him a perfect fit for the Padres as they struggled with health in the rotation last year, and they have very good infield defense. Because of the need for starting pitching, I also expect the Padres to bring back Michael Wacha, who despite having some injuries last year, looked very good for San Diego, posting a 3.22 ERA. At number 17, I have Jorge Soler signing with the Detroit Tigers. While the Tigers still had a losing season in 2023, they got a bit more on track after a step back in 2022. With Miguel Cabrera officially retiring, the Tigers will have some money to spend, and they need some power as they only ranked 24th in home runs last season. Jorge Soler would provide a nice boost there as he hit 36 home runs for the Marlins last season and has experience playing in the AL Central from his years with the Royals. At number 16, I have Clayton Kershaw signing with the LA Dodgers. Recently, Kershaw announced he was undergoing shoulder surgery. Because of this, I honestly don't see him going anywhere and think he will finish his career with the Dodgers. At number 15, I have Yariel Rodriguez signing with the Chicago White Sox. 26-year-old Yariel Rodriguez was born in Cuba, but he's been dominating in Japan over the last few seasons. He has a mid to upper 90s fastball with a devastating slider that is close to 3,000 RPMs of spin. He also features a curveball, splitter, and changeup. The White Sox only ranked 26 overall with their pitching staff last year, and they've been scouting Rodriguez a lot. They've also had a lot of success in the past attracting Cuban players like Luis Robert, Oscar Colas, Yoelqui Cespedes, and Jose Abreu. At number 14, I have Shota Imanaga signing with the LA Dodgers. Yoshinobu Yamamoto will have all the eyeballs out of Japan, but Shota Imanaga is the next best option. His fastball sits in the low to mid 90s with a nasty splitter, sweeping slider, and an occasional curveball and changeup. All of this helped him post a 2.66 ERA and 10 strikeouts per 9 last season in Japan. The Dodgers had a lot of problems with their pitching depth last year and could use another arm in their rotation, especially from the left side now that free agent Clayton Kershaw is getting shoulder surgery. Along with needing arms in the rotation, they have the geographical advantage being on the West Coast. With a strong analytics department, I can also see the Dodgers being very intrigued with what Imanaga brings to the table. I know a lot of people want the Dodgers to sign a top-tier pitcher, but I see them using their strong farm system instead to pull off a trade for someone like Corbin Burns or Shane Bieber. At number 13, I have Jung-Hoo Lee signing with the New York Yankees. The Yankees finally decided to inject some youth onto the team in 2023, calling up guys like Jason Dominguez, Austin Wells, and Everson Pereira. However, Dominguez had to undergo elbow surgery and is going to miss significant time next season. However, I can see them bringing in a high upside player, and one not many may have heard of. He goes by the name of Jung-Hoo Lee out of Korea, and there's a lot to like. He's a contact-first hitter, plays solid defense, and has great speed, all of which the Yankees need. Over 7 seasons in the KBO, he's hit .340 with a .406 on base and a .455 slugging, and was the KBO MVP in 2022. The Yankees could use his bat-to-ball skills, as they only ranked 22nd in contact percentage last season, and they would love his speed, as they only ranked 28th in base running. Aaron Judge has said the Yankees need to make some bigger picture and philosophical changes, and I think it starts with Jung-Hoo Lee. At number 12, I have JD Martinez signing with the Seattle Mariners. The Mariners were a disappointment in 2023, falling flat at the end of the season after a hot start to the second half. One area I could see them improving is the offense, where they could use a more consistent bat after not getting consistent seasons from Julio Rodriguez, Teoscar Hernandez, and Ty France. One bat that's always been consistent is JD Martinez, and I think he would be a perfect option for this offense. Other players love having him around as well, as he's shown to be helpful in analyzing their swings. At number 11, I have Josh Hader signing with the Texas Rangers. Even though the Rangers won it all this season, one area they struggled with down the stretch was the bullpen. While Jose Leclerc did lock things down in the postseason, their bullpen was up and down in the regular season. I expect the Rangers to add to this bullpen, and who better than one of the best closers in the game, Josh Hader. He was fantastic for the Padres in 2023, posting a 1.28 ERA, a 2.69 FIP, and 33 saves. At number 10, I have Jeimer Candelario signing with the Toronto Blue Jays. Earlier, I had Jock Peterson going to the Blue Jays, but I also think they need to address third base, as I think Matt Chapman is going to sign elsewhere. The next best option is Jeimer Candelario. While his bat did cool down in September, he was much more steady than Chapman, while still bringing some good defense into the fold, along with the ability to play first base as well. At number 9, I have Matt Chapman signing with the San Francisco Giants. Speaking of Matt Chapman, this one will probably draw some split opinions, but I see Matt Chapman signing with the Giants for a few reasons. First and foremost, it would be a reunion with his former manager, Bob Melvin, who he loved playing for. While Chapman's bat looked good in the first half of the season last year before tailing off in the second half, the first thing that comes to mind is his defense at third base, which the Giants could really use an upgrade at. J.D. Davis had a decent season at the plate, but his -11 defensive runs saved are pretty glaring, while Chapman had 12 defensive runs saved. They could either have Davis rotate in and out of the DH spot and other positions, or simply trade him elsewhere. There's also Casey Schmidt, but he struggled to really grasp the job by the horns in his rookie season. He has versatility though, and he can play other positions. At number 8, I have Jordan Montgomery signing with the Atlanta Braves. While the Braves offense didn't show up in the postseason against the Phillies, one thing they could really use for the regular season is more pitching, as Kyle Wright will miss all of 2024 due to shoulder surgery, while Charlie Morton isn't getting any younger, and Mike Soroka isn't really reliable. The Braves are in win now mode, and one guy who could bring a lot to this team is World Series winner Jordan Montgomery. First, it would give the Braves an incredible 1-2-3 alongside Spencer Strider and Max Fried, but I can see Anthopoulos also liking the idea of not having to give up a draft pick due to the fact that Montgomery is ineligible for a qualifying offer. I can see Anthopoulos not picking up Morton's club option and using it for Montgomery instead. At number 7, I have Eduardo Rodriguez signing with the Philadelphia Phillies. Eduardo Rodriguez had a solid season in 2023, posting a 3.30 ERA and a 3.66 FIP over 26 starts. With the Phillies and Aaron Nola far apart in talks over a new deal, as well as other teams expected to bid heavily on his services, I see Dave Dombrowski pivoting and turning to an old friend from the Red Sox days and Eduardo Rodriguez. The Phillies also scouted Rodriguez at the trade deadline, and I could see that interest remaining strong in free agency. At number 6, I have Sonny Gray signing with the St. Louis Cardinals. It was a disappointing season for the Cardinals, who finished with a record of 71-91. This was mainly due to a bad starting rotation that lacked stability and averaged an ERA of 5.01. Near the end of the season, President of Baseball Operations John Mozeliak stated a desire to add 3 starting pitchers in free agency, and I think they start here by signing Sonny Gray. After a great stint with the Twins, he would be an excellent piece for the rotation, as he has good stuff and gets a lot of ground balls, something the Cardinals organization admires. At number 5, I have Blake Snell signing with the Chicago Cubs. Justin Steele had a major breakout season this year for the Cubs, and there's a good chance Marcus Stroman and Kyle Hendricks stick around, but I think the Cubs rotation could use a boost in strikeouts as they only ranked 19th in strikeouts per 9. Blake Snell, on the other hand, ranked 2nd in strikeouts per 9 and would give them a solid 1-2 punch of Snell and Steele in the Cubs rotation, both who will most likely finish 1-2 in the Cy Young voting. At number 4, I have Aaron Nola signing with the St. Louis Cardinals. Earlier, I talked about them signing Sonny Gray, but I also mentioned they wanted to go after 3 starting pitchers. While I don't think they land 3 big names, I could see them landing 2 of the upper tier names, with Aaron Nola being the cherry on top. While Aaron Nola had an up and down season last year with an ERA of 4.46 and a FIP of 4.03, he has a great track record and looked good in the postseason, but most importantly, he gives you innings and stability, which the Cardinals need. Reports have suggested the Cardinals are planning to make a big run at Nola, and I think they get it done. At number 3, I have Yoshinobu Yamamoto signing with the Boston Red Sox. With Craig Breslow running the show in Boston, he's hoping to get this organization back on track. To do this, though, they're going to have to address the starting pitching, which only ranked 22nd in Fangraph WAR last year. While I do think they'll have their eyes on Nola, Montgomery, and Snell, I think they'll ultimately end up preferring Yoshinobu Yamamoto out of Japan. He's much younger and holds the most upside in the pitching market, but also has a high floor as he's been one of the best pitchers in Japan, posting a 1.72 ERA and 9 strikeouts per 9 over 7 seasons. It's also been reported he wants to pitch in a bigger market. I see Breslow, who has an eye for pitching, seeing the potential in Yamamoto, and with the Red Sox bringing in multiple players from Japan in the past, along with having money to spend, I see them getting this done. At number 2, I have Cody Bellinger signing with the San Francisco Giants. Bellinger went through 3 straight down seasons with the Dodgers before undergoing a change of scenery with the Cubs. There, he enjoyed a comeback season, hitting .307 with an .881 OPS, 25 homers, 97 RBIs, and 20 stolen bases, and has established himself as the top position player on the market. A team that could use a boost in offense is the Giants, who only ranked 21st in WRC Plus this year, and they need a proven bat in the middle of the order. The Giants have been willing to spend the big bucks in recent years, and while I do think they will go hard after Ohtani, I see them coming out on top in the Cody Bellinger sweepstakes instead. And last but not least, I have Shohei Ohtani signing with the LA Dodgers. When it comes to Shohei Ohtani, simply put, he's the best player in the entire universe right now, and to sign him, there's many boxes that need to be checked off. Money is a huge factor, and for Ohtani, it looks like teams will have to get near the $500 million mark, so some payroll flexibility will definitely come in handy. Ohtani has also stated he wants to win, so teams need to be in contention every year. With a lot of money coming off the books, combined with the fact that they limited spending last offseason, winning 10 of the last 11 division crowns, and coming off 3 straight 100-win seasons, I see Shohei Ohtani signing with the LA Dodgers. So those are my predictions. Tell me yours down below in the comments. If you can on the way out, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll talk to you next time.